Hi and hello, and thanks for tuning in with the RL. Welcome to today's lecture on word formation and its processes. In this video, we'll be exploring the fascinating world of words and how they are created. We'll be drawing on insights from George Yule's seminal work, The Study of Language, to understand the various ways in which words are formed and modified. So let's dive in and discover the building blocks of language. Word formation. Word formation refers to the creation of new words and modification of existing words in a language. Understanding words formation helps in comprehending the evolution and adaptability of a language. There are various processes for word formation, including derivation, compounding, blending, clipping, back formation, and many more. Before delving into these processes, we have to understand certain terms regarding this concept. First, we have neologism. Neologisms are newly coined words or expressions. For example, Google as a verb, then selfie and blog, they are also there as example of neologism. Neologism often arises from technological advancements and cultural changes. Then we have the term etymology. Etymology is the study of the origin and history of words. Remember that this is the study, okay? The study of the origin and history of words. Also, it examines how words have evolved over the time, their roots in different languages, and how their meanings have changed. Now, we have to dive into the proper processes, starting with borrowing. Borrowing involves taking words from other languages into your. For example, croissant from French, yoga from Sanskrit, and yogurt from Turkish. These words are borrowed from other languages into English. There are two types of borrowing: direct borrowing and cloaks or loan translations. Direct borrowing is something when you borrow the word as it is without changing its pronunciation or form. But for loan translation, the scenario is a bit different. Loan translation or clock is a type of borrowing where elements of a word from another language are translated. Focus on this word, translated directly into the borrowing language. The words are not borrowed as they are, but they are translated into your language. For example, the English term skyscraper has been translated into various languages like in French, gratte-ciel, and in German, Wolkenkratzer. Okay, these two words are example of loan translation. Now let's move on to compounding. Compounding combines two or more words to form a new word. For example, notebook from note and book, sunflower from sun and flower, basketball from basket and ball. Now there are two types of compounding: endocentric and exocentric compounding. In endocentric compounding, the resulting compound word has a head word that determines its meaning and grammatical category. The head word is typically the rightmost word in the compound. For example, blackboard. Here the head word is board. Toothbrush. Head word is brush. And in toothpaste, the head word is paste. Then we have exocentric compounding. In exocentric compounding, the resulting compound word does not have a clear head word and its meaning is not predictable from the meaning of the individual word. In the compound word forehead, the forehead is not a type of head but a part of the face. Same is the case for the word pickpocket. In each example, the compound word has a unique meaning that cannot be predicted from the individual words. Okay, so next we'll explore blending. Blending merges parts of words to create a new word. For example, smoke from smoke and folk. The first two letters of smoke and last two letters of folk. They both combine to make a word smoke. The same scenario is with branch and motel. This process typically involves taking the beginning of one word and joining it to the end of another. Like you have seen in the above given examples, we take first two words from motor and the last three words from motel, like the start of motor and the ending of hotel to make the new word hotel. In the next section, we'll discuss the process of clipping. Clipping reduces a longer word into a shorter form. For example, fax from facsimile, ad from advertisement, and from gymnasium. These are common in casual speak and often becomes widely accepted. These are commonly acceptable and used widely in casual speech. Now let's take a closer look at hypocrisms. Hypocrisms are reduced formed with an added y or ie. For example, tally for television, Aussie from Australian, and brekkie from breakfast. Now let's look into the region where hypocrism is used widely. So it is particularly favored in Australian and British English. Next, we have back formation. Back formation creates a new word by removing a real or supposed affix from another word. For example, edit from editor, donate from donation, televise from television. These are back formation often involves nouns being converted into verbs. You can see this in the word edit and editor, like from the main word is editor, which is noun, and then we convert it into a verb edit. In the sentence, editor edited the video, you can see that the editor is the noun and edit it is the verb. From editor we got edit, and it is then used as verb. Hope so you understand it. Then the next process we'll consider is conversion. Conversion changes the function of a word without altering its form. What it simply does, the form of word is not changed, but its function does. The most common conversions are from noun to verb, from verb to noun, and from adjective to verb. We simply don't change the form or spelling of the word, but we changes its function, like from to cheat to a cheat. Like when someone cheats on you or someone else, we say that he cheated on her, then we call him a cheat. He cheated on her, so he is a cheat. You can see that how we changed a verb into a noun. And the same case is with the other scenarios. It is also known as category change or functional shift. Next, we'll explore the process of coinage. So, coinage is the creation of entirely new words, often from trade names. For example, it include aspirin, nylon, and Google. No, many people may confuse the term coinage with the term neologism, but they are different. The key difference is here that coinage emphasizes the act of creating a new word, while neologism focuses on the new word itself. Coinage is often deliberate, whereas neologism can emerge organically through language use. Simply that coinage is the process of new word formation, and neologism is the word itself. Okay, you have to remember that and don't get confused with those two concepts. Now, the next process we have is eponym. Eponyms are words derived from names of people or places. For example, sandwich from the Earl of Sandwich. It is said that sandwich was the favorite food of the Earl of Sandwich. That is why it is named as sandwich. Cardigan from the Earl of Cardigan, and pasteurized from Louis Pasteur. The significance of eponyms, let's have a look into that. It reflects the influence of individuals on language, that how individuals influence the language or coined or made new terms, or how these individuals were the reason for production of a new word or formation of a new word. Now let's take a closer look at derivation. Derivation creates new words by adding affixes to existing words, and it is the most common method of word formation. It includes prefixes, suffixes, and infixes. There is a detailed information about prefixes and suffixes. So prefixes are added to the beginning of a word. For example, un in unhappy. Okay. Then we have some other examples as dislike, disobey, dishonor, incomplete. Then suffixes. Suffixes are added to the end of a word. For example, ness in happiness, full in grateful, and many more. Now, these both type of affixes modify the meaning of the base word. Infixes. Infixes are affixes inserted within a word. It is it from this phenomena, the phenomena of infixes. It is rare in English, but can be seen in playful or emphatic expressions like fan bloody tastic, fan bloody tastic. Now, infixes these are more common in language like Tagalog. Now, let's take a closer look at acronyms. Acronyms are formed from the initial letters of series of words and are pronounced as single word. Examples include NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Then SCUBA, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Now some acronyms are pronounced as separate letters such as FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Let's examine another process of word formation, which is reduplication. Reduplication is basically repeating a word or a part of it. For example, wishy washy, flip flop, scooby dooby, hip hop, and many more. Then we have the process of onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a term basically used for the words that imitate sounds. For example, buzz, hiss, splash, boom, bang, and many more. And it is also a process for creating new words. Multiple processes. Sometimes multiple word formation processes occur simultaneously. For example, if we take the term snowball, it originated as a compound word from snow and ball. Then it was converted into a verb to snowball. Okay, first of all, it was originated as a compound word and then was converted into verb to snowball. Now, here we can see there are multiple word formation processes occurring simultaneously with a single word snowball. Similarly, Delhi is a clipped from a borrowed word delicatessen, and like you can see that the word was first borrowed and then was clipped. So that's a wrap to today's lecture on word formation and processes. We have covered many word formation processes like coinage, clipping, and many more. Remember, understanding how words are formed and modified can deepen our appreciation for the complexity and beauty of language. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of words. If you have any question or topics you would like me to cover in the future lectures, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel for more language related content. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.